Welcome, family, to the first part of my spiritual warfare series. And this first part is going to be called Order Out of Chaos. And of course, the Hegelian dialectic, where you have thesis, antithesis, and then synthesis. I'm going to be explaining the hierarchy of the enemy that we faced, that's led by Esau. Okay. Let me first preface by saying that there are no black or white races. Okay. I want to say that again. There are no black or white races. Okay. There's only nations and nationalities. Okay. And so there's no such thing as white supremacy. Okay. What we're classifying as white supremacy is really red supremacy. Okay, because the Bible tells us that Jacob and his brother Esau would be two different nations, and they would be opposed to each other. Okay, so this is what we're really witnessing right now. Esau, the red man, is really who came out red. He's not a red race, but he came out red, and this is the guy that's behind the three. He's the main figure behind the physical manifestation of Satan on this three-dimensional plane. Okay, he's one of the three heads of the dragon, and I'm going to be going over that right now. Okay, as far as the hierarchy of the three-headed dragon in depth. So have a little patience for me. I'm reading from my notes, but this is important, and I want to try to get as much as I can down from what I have written down here. Okay, so let's see. First of all, number one, who is Esau? He's represented by the Confederate Democrats. Okay, when I say Democrats, the reason I say Democrats is because the Democrats, or other people called Democratic Party, their leadership are possessed by demons. So this is why I call them the Democrats. Fallen angels and demons, they're possessed. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. Can't you tell this lady is possessed? Okay, by spirits. Look at her eyes. Look at her face, the blank stare in her face. I mean, it's plain as day. For those of us who are spiritual, we can plainly see that this woman is demonically possessed. Okay, so the first head and the leadership of the Democrats, of the three-headed dragon, are the Confederate Democrats, and they represent the slavocracy, the planter class that enslaved the so-called Negro, which we now know is the chosen people of the Most High Yah, the Habaru, the Yahudim. Okay, and these Confederate Democrats, okay, are led at the top, because as I said in my disclaimer, not all of the people in these three groups are in the cabal, but Satan doesn't need to control or possess all people on the planet or all people in the nations. He only needs to possess and control their leadership and their elite bloodline families. Okay, so the Confederate Democrats, they are the called Sephardim. Okay, who really split into two groups. One group came with Columbus to the so-called New World. Another group stayed in Spain. They converted to Roman Catholicism, and then they as conversos, and they eventually infiltrated and took over the Jesuit order. The Jesuit order is a military order. Okay. Okay, so that's Esau, and Esau also includes the Saudi royal family, because they're what's called crypto Jews. Okay, crypto, but being that they're from the Middle East, because once again, Esau is not a white man. Y'all, Esau's he left the lands where he was controlling under Herod, controlling Judea. We know that their ancient homeland is in Jordan, in Petra. Okay, the caves of Petra. That's where they come from. So you can't say that they're not Caucasian either. So this is why they always make a distinction between the Ish or the Jewish and so-called white people or Caucasians. It's a different stock. Okay. Now the second head of the dragon are the children of Cain. Okay, and they're the Republicans. Okay, and the children of Cain are the Protestant Germanics, but they're led by the Roman Catholic Nazi Lebensborn. Okay, it's a German Nazi Roman Catholic bloodline. Okay, and that's who's controlling the Republican Party. Okay, the Republican Party was not created to free the slaves. It was created because slaves were taking jobs and opportunities from the majority poor working class white, which was mainly Germanic populations in the United States. So they needed to get rid of slavery so that they could then get these jobs, okay, and opportunities that they were being prevented from getting due to slavery. So no love lost with the Republicans, okay, and we're going to get to number 3. Now let me just backtrack and say that, as I said in a previous video, it was groups 1 and 2, the Sephardim, who came in 1492, and the children of Cain, the Germanics, who in Philadelphia in 1787 created towards a more perfect union, created the United States in Philadelphia. It was these mainly 2 groups. But now what we're having is that there's a third group on the scene, which I'm going to address now, the third head of the dragon that was not on the scene at the time in 1787 when they formed the United States of America. And this third group or third head is called the Ashkenazim, okay? And they are the serpent seed, okay? And what's going on now is order out of chaos, where chaos is created, and then out of that chaos, they're going to bring in their order or their new world order, okay? And also the Hegelian dialectic, where they put Trump got in, and then they're going to come up with a solution, which they say is to get rid of Trump, and then the last phase is the synthesis, where they're going to bring all of the unify all 3 of these groups together as one. That's the synthesis. So that's what's really going on. These 2 groups are really not fighting, or 3 groups are not fighting each other. They're basically going through a Freemasonic and satanic ritual where they're creating chaos, and out of this chaos, they're going to reunify all of these groups to get 3 groups together. Okay, how do you know that? It's because Donald Trump, which we know is a German, but he gave his favorite daughter Ivanka to an Ashkenazim. Okay, this was to solidify the union between the Germanics, the children of Cain, which Donald Trump represents, and the Republican Party, and the Ashkenazim. So that's what's really going on in this so-called world of politics. Okay, it's all a big joke. It's a scam. Okay, and the mass media, fake news is involved in it. Okay, and it's all just a big ritual. Okay, because we know that that 1% owns 90% of the wealth in America. Okay, and these were the original rulers who formed the United States of America in Philadelphia in 1787. This group has existed since then. Okay, and now what they're doing is they're grafting in the third head of the dragon, which is the Ashkenazim, into this rulership. And I'm going to show you now how they rule over the children of the Most High, and over the majority of the people of America, the United States. Okay. The Democrats and the Republicans, which are represented by the demons and the fallen angels and the children of Cain, they rule over the United States through the 50 governors and mayors. Okay, that rule over the masses of the people in these cities. Okay, and also, of course, we know they rule also through their orders of the judicial, executive, and other branches of government. Okay, so Fox News have been saying this election will determine the fate of our nation, and as I said before, it's also been said that it's gonna determine, it's for the soul of America. Okay, and Nancy Pelosi said, if you want to predict the future, you have to create it yourself. So basically, that's what these people are doing. They're creating the type of future that they want to create. Creating this chaos, and out of this chaos is going to come their order, the order that they want. Okay, grafting in the third head of the dragon and solidifying their power over our people and over the masses of the people in the United States of America. Okay, with that, I'm gonna end this first part. The next part, we're going to be talking about what happened after the Civil War, after Reconstruction, when they brought in Jim Crow. I'm going to show how the Confederate South really didn't lose the Civil War, and that the Axis powers, including Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Fascist Japan, really didn't lose the Second World War, and how all of these powers coalesced together to take over the financial and the business corporations of the United States. So stay tuned for my next video, and I'll see you then. Till then, have a nice day.